Have you ever felt your life quietly drifting along a single path, only to have everything suddenly collapse in the blink of an eye? Today, I want to share with you the story of the day I died and what I saw on the other side. Hello, I'm Chase Schuyler Deo, a former United States Air Force serviceman. If you had met me a few years back, you would have encountered a man fully dedicated to the mission, someone who found purpose and pride in wearing the uniform every single day. I spent countless hours training, studying, and pushing my limits, driven by a singular goal, serving my country and rising through the ranks. That identity shaped my entire life, yet fate has its own plans. One morning, I woke up late and felt no rush, an unusual occurrence for someone so accustomed to military punctuality. In truth, I had begun to lose my drive. After sustaining a severe knee injury during training, the military career I had spent my entire life dreaming of came to a sudden end. I will never forget the doctor's words. "You may walk, again fine, but your knee won't handle the demands of active military duty." That sentence hit me harder than any physical blow. I could no longer see a future for myself in the Air Force. I remember asking, "Why am I still here?" The question gnawed at me day and night, turning my once stable routine into a haze of uncertainty. That day, it wasn't just about being late. I never showed up for work at all. Every muscle in my body felt heavy, as though weighed down by 1,000 anxieties. My mind kept spiraling. Would I be discharged? How would I find meaning now? I had heard of fellow servicemen transitioning into civilian life, but I had never imagined it would happen this abruptly, or under such deflating circumstances. I still recall the clang of the door handle as my dorm room door slammed open. My supervisor stepped inside, clearly irritated and ready to reprimand me for not reporting in. Instead of discovering me oversleeping, though, she found me lying there, motionless on the floor. In that instant, the military protocols I knew so well kicked in for everyone else. An ambulance was called. Medics arrived. My body, unresponsive, was quickly rushed to the nearest hospital. What happened next was like watching a rapid montage of someone else's life. I came to in a hospital room, drifting in and out of consciousness. Overhead lights glared coldly. Doctors, nurses, and the beeping of machines blurred into a single cacophony. They ran every possible test. Blood work, CT scans, MRIs, searching for any sign that could explain my collapse. Yet everything was normal. No drugs, no alcohol, no glaring red flags. Why had I passed out? No one could give me a clear answer. A nurse approached, her demeanor kind and reassuring. "We're going to run a few more tests. If everything checks out, you can go home," she said, smiling as she checked my IV line. Her voice was gentle, but I felt too numb to reciprocate. She adjusted the drip and then stepped away. And that was the exact moment the alarms went off. The sound sliced through my hazy mind. The walls seemed to tilt. The ceiling swirled, as if caught in some invisible current. My vision narrowed. I heard urgent voices, the thudding of shoes against the tile floor. Doctors and nurses poured back into the room. Though physically I was there, my consciousness felt distant, as if I were observing through a foggy window. Suddenly I sensed something press against my arm, yet there was no one standing beside me. A voice, neither male nor female, resonated gently in my ear. "It's going to hurt, but then everything will be okay." Despite every muscle in my neck straining, I couldn't see anyone. Confusion mixed with an odd sense of calm. Then came the pain. A searing electric jolt that ripped through my bloodstream as if a massive current were being forced through my veins. My body convulsed violently. Shouts echoed in the background, but that mysterious voice remained steady, offering reassurance that defied the chaos around me. I turned my head and glimpsed the heart monitor. Its line had gone flat, a thin, unwavering horizontal streak. The clamor escalated. People yelled orders. I recognized the sound of a defibrillator charging. And yet, in the midst of what should have been sheer terror, I felt a peace I can't fully explain. My final thought before letting go was, I'm dying, but why am I not afraid? I was dead. Clinically, absolutely, and unarguably dead. Yet my awareness did not vanish into darkness. Instead, a sense of weightlessness enveloped me, as though I'd been gently lifted from my own body. I looked down, or perhaps I just felt I was looking down, and saw what appeared to be myself on the hospital bed. A brilliant light pulsed from my chest, bright enough to illuminate every corner of my being. That light guided me upward, away from the frantic scene. Then I found myself in a garden. But to call it a garden is an understatement. It was like stepping into an entirely different realm of existence. The colors of the trees and flowers were impossibly vivid, as though they generated their own luminescence. It felt like a place where time itself had paused. The sky was radiant, brighter than the sun on a cloudless day, yet it didn't hurt my eyes. There was no gravity holding me down, no burdens weighing on my mind. Ahead of me, I saw a man wearing a cloak chasing a little boy with curly blonde hair. Their laughter echoed through the air, filled with the purest joy. Something about that boy made my heart twist. I recognized him. He was me at 6 years old, utterly free from worry, brimming with life. I hadn't thought about that version of myself in decades, but seeing him felt like reuniting with an old friend I had lost long ago. The man slowed to a stop and turned to look at me. I didn't need an introduction. I knew it was Jesus, not the stylized, fragile figure from paintings or stained glass windows, but someone strong and vibrant. His blue eyes shone with empathy, strength, and unconditional love. When he smiled at me, it felt like he was communicating volumes without a single word. In that silent exchange, a message reverberated within my heart. This is the life you deserve, overflowing with joy and love. Don't take everything so seriously. The words struck me like a lightning bolt of clarity. All my anxieties, my lost career, my sense of failure, my confusion about the future, seemed trivial in the face of this boundless love and acceptance. I understood how much time I'd wasted worrying about achievements, promotions, or the judgments of others. I had forgotten how to simply be alive. I nodded, tears welling in my eyes. Jesus walked closer, placed a comforting hand on my shoulder, and smiled. "You must go back," he said, or perhaps he conveyed it directly into my consciousness. There was no fear, no argument on my part. I simply knew it had to be so. My time there, however beautiful, wasn't finished. My life on Earth still had a purpose, even if I hadn't fully understood it yet. In a flash, I gasped for air. My eyes opened, and I was no longer in that mystical garden. Instead, I found myself in a different hospital altogether. They had transferred my body to a civilian facility, so a formal declaration of death could be made. Doctors were stunned to see me awake, blinking in confusion. They ran more tests. Again, no explanation. I was, quite literally, a medical anomaly. Leaving the hospital, I called a friend, my voice still shaky with disbelief. "I just died. Come pick me up." We did the first thing that came to mind. We headed to Chick-fil-A. Sitting there, eating chicken sandwiches in the bright midday sun, everything seemed surreal. How was I alive? What exactly had happened? Yet deep down, I knew. I had received a second chance, an opportunity to live differently. From that point forward, I vowed not to waste any more time. I dived headfirst into all the adventures I'd hesitated to try. Ballroom dancing, break dancing with a university club, even though I wasn't enrolled there. Photography, stand-up comedy, hosting events, and even sports commentary. For a while, it felt incredible, like I was making up for lost time. Each new passion was a reminder that life still held endless possibilities. But life has a way of creeping up on you. Before long, I found myself once again grappling with financial strains and obligations. The world's expectations began to overshadow the lessons I'd learned in that garden. Stress piled up, and that old familiar feeling of being trapped crept back. I remember one night sitting alone in my apartment, staring blankly at the ceiling, thinking, I'm falling into the same trap. I've forgotten what he told me. The insight stung. How could I have encountered something so profound only to drift away again? It was then I decided to change course. I signed up for a meditation and yoga program specifically designed for veterans. For the first time since my near-death experience, I found a sense of deep, abiding peace. In that quiet space, breathing, meditating, stretching, I rediscovered that simple, timeless truth. I am alive, and that is enough. Returning home, my wife observed me with gentle curiosity. "You've changed," she said, her eyes full of a warmth that mirrored the light I had once felt radiating from my chest. She was right. I had changed. Or rather, I was finally getting back to the person I was meant to be. In the months that followed, I discovered I had a strange gift. When I prayed for others, placing my hands on them, I sensed their pain in a palpable way. Sometimes it manifested as a tingling or warmth. Occasionally, faint marks even appeared on my own hands, though I still can't fully explain why. It was as if the energy of their suffering flowed through me, momentarily before dissipating. While it was humbling and at times overwhelming, it also felt like a calling, an invitation to care, to heal in whatever small way I could. One day, while traveling on a plane, I felt that familiar, comforting presence again. Jesus didn't instruct me to spread joy this time. Instead, I heard a gentle whisper. You cannot save everyone. Some people must experience pain to learn their own lessons. It was a reminder that not every story ends in miraculous healing, and that was okay. Pain and struggle are teachers too. Sometimes our best service is simply to be there, to offer empathy rather than solutions. Now, I'm no longer obsessively searching for explanations or grappling with existential angst. Instead, I focus on living, on sharing love, laughter, and compassion. Whether I'm dancing awkwardly at a local studio, cracking a joke at a friend's get-together, or holding someone's hand in prayer, I do so with an openness I once lacked. People ask me if I fear death after what I experienced. The truth is, I no longer see death as an ending. It's more like stepping through a door to a place where love abounds, where our true selves can roam free of worry. I know one day I'll return to that radiant garden, and maybe then I'll stay forever. But until that moment arrives, I have work to do. I have people to love, experiences to embrace, lessons to learn and to share. That is perhaps the biggest takeaway from dying. Life is precious precisely because it doesn't last forever. So here I am, living proof that a dead man can come back to life, and not just physically. My spirit was resurrected that day, awakened to the sheer wonder of existence. And if there's one thing I want you to remember from my story, it's this: every single day is a second chance. You don't need a near-death experience to discover what truly matters. You only have to choose to open your heart, to see the everyday miracles that surround you, and to love without hesitation. Yes, I once died, and I saw a garden more beautiful than words can describe. But the greatest miracle is still unfolding right here and now. I am alive, and I finally understand what it means to cherish each breath. And that is why, every morning, I wake up grateful for my scars, my gifts, and even my failures. They all led me here. They all shaped me into someone who believes, unshakably, that there is more to life than just going through the motions. There is a garden waiting for each of us, a place where every lost joy can be found again. Until then, let us live fully, love abundantly, and never forget how precious it is to simply be. If this story resonates with you, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to discover more near-death experiences. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.